You know, someday they're not going to let us back in the booth. Today is not that day. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another Game 3 tonight between Wewbear and Xenocat. This is the round of 32, folks. Someone, we hope, will make it to the round of 16 today. Not that we're going to bring up ties. That's a thing. Hi, I'm Martin. We have Scythe Marshall behind the scenes pushing buttons. We have S Grunt rolling this amazing dumpster fire. And to my left, we have quite possibly two, and a case could be made for more of the 7 deadly sins. The one, the only Possum Morpheus. Possum, how are you?
I'm a talking trash can, Martin, which means it is another day in paradise. I'm feeling great, and I'm looking forward to an amazing race between two amazing runners.
They really are. I had the pleasure of racing Wewbear in the hashtag Throgarax group, and obviously Xeno does not need an introduction. These are two amazing runners. This is going to be something to watch. I'm glad you're all here to see it. I know I'm more than happy to be in the booth commentating it. How about you?
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I'm very excited. We have Xenocat, the runner-up from the Crystal Ring group, but anyone who has been around Xenocat knows Xenocat is anything but a runner-up in any group. And Wewbear, the winner of the Ogreax group, which was one of, if not the toughest groups that were in the entire tournament. So it is fantastic to see these two go at it. I'm super excited. I gotta thank Wewbear for that naming scheme, Martin. I think we both do. That's fantastic stuff right there. And we have some objectives here too, not just the fake ones where they're facing a test and asking for too many hats. All right, real objectives. We have the Baron Castle basement. That's the Odin Throne, y'all. I learned that the other day after mismarking it. Return the pan to Yang's wife. The Masamune altar. The super cannon room burning the village mist, liberating Baron, and defeating the town. The king of the town of monsters reading his hard, y'all. We don't actually need all that many key items here, oddly enough. A darkness crystal, underground access, a Baron key, a package, a super cannon, tower key, and a pan. That's only 6 that we need total. Could be a quick one if things fall in the right place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you obviously named off all the objectives. My eyeballs immediately go towards number 3 and number 7.
Yeah.
Because those are two of some of the worst that the game has to offer. And depending on your party, those may be a, hey, they're free, this is fantastic. Or, I'm going to come back here pretty much at the end of the game.
Yeah, the king of the town of monsters, aka the Leviathan spot, aka arguably the hardest spot in the game because of when you have access to it versus how difficult it is to fight. That's always a very tough one to stomach because it could be something like an evil wall and you just can't touch it for a long time. Speaking of things I don't want to touch for a long time, that's a Tella and a Porum start. That's not the best. A full moon is not going to help, and a Sparkle probably doesn't bring a lot of joy to the runners. They're going to need some help with this early game because this is not good.
No, not at all. For most of us that play this, we see this start and we're like, where's my damage coming from? Excuse me, what? I can't bonk things early. No, this is not going to work. So I have a feeling we're going to see some looting here early on, Possum. But I see a Tella. So what's on your mind as we fly up here to Bedward to get our item?
Well, I think there's a couple different ways to approach it. You can go the Bedward route, which Wewbear is, and you can go the Watery Pass route, which Xenocat is. I think both of these are very defensible and very intelligent plays. Tella having exit means you can go through Watery Pass without the worry of trap chests like Eblin Castle, while, Troya, you just go and pick up I was going to say a key item, but apparently those don't exist as we now have a Bacchus wine to go with our full moon. I guess you can let Tella hit things with a staff or whatever he comes with, but a Bacchus wine ain't going to do anything but get him drunk and be very ineffective. But we have Xenocat going through this Watery Pass, going to loot the whole thing most likely, taking full advantage of that exit, and probably head to Troya and look to shop a little bit. Yeah. Wewbear picked up a Power Staff, arguably the best single thing that he could have found in this public treasury. That is a fantastic piece of early loot. it will actually let someone hit things, kind of.
I mean, the good news is, at least with the early game spots, that's all you really have to do is kind of, sort of, maybe hit things, kind of, and usually get through it. But you know these runners right now, looting all this, and their eyeballs are definitely on Hobbs right now because, well, we
Ooh.
talk about any white mage in a storm. At this point, I'm talking about anything not a potato in the storm that can actually hit something.
Well, of note, Xenocat has picked up a bandana, a longsword, and a ninja sword in the last 3 chests. If there is an edge on Hobbs, Xenocat has endgame materials for an edge already. That's a giant if. Edge being on Hobbs is not guaranteed and, in fact, pretty unlikely, but there's always a chance. Wewbear saying, I'm getting out of dodge and going to miss out on all that great ninja gear. So the sooner an edge shows up, the better for Xenocat, and the worse for Wewbear. That is the major divergence thus far. We'll see how deep into the back of Watery Pass Wewbear goes here after Xenocat has fully cleared it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people when they do this Watery Pass play, it's usually front and back and kind of fade the middle. Tell it with exit though. You saw it on Xeno's side. It's pretty straightforward. It's about 2 minutes front to back with exit to grab everything in the place. A lot of people don't like that middle just because of the amount of time and space between the chests there. But as Xeno proved, guess what? There can be some really nice items in there, and definitely got paid off for it.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you just sell the ninja sword. It's still going to net you like 10 to 12,000 in gold, which is not an insignificant amount on this flag set. We also saw a cane sitting in bed has taken over Rose's natural spot in the vanilla game, waiting for someone to be his knight or princess in shining armor and show up and save him, cure that fever. But that also does remove a Zerker from potentially being on Mount Hobbs, which is not great because this team could use all of the Zerk help it could get, or a Pala or Twin.
Very much so. I did spy with my little eye there on Wu's side. The Damsien basement had an Elven bow. So, Power Staff Elven bow, that's a pretty good combo for these two characters, I would say.
I mean, do we have arrows?
Look, that's a future Wu problem, okay? And by future, I mean about in the next 20 seconds. So.
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Okay, well, so you can never call a seed 5 minutes in.
Ooh.
But boy, oh boy, is Xenocat off to the races with this start, given what that edge is going to be packing. That is ninja sword, long sword, with a full moon that we got from the start, and having a bandana. That is just absolute fire for this flag set.
Xeno has 1 speed right now, and it's go. And it's going to go very fast. So you will see Edge move to the middle, and you will see things implode in very short times.
Yeah, Wewbear is going to have middle sword full moon. It's not the worst, but it's not full moon ninja, and it's not ninja long. That is a big difference. +3 strength from the ninja sword, +5 from the bandana. That's an extra multiplier. There's a mute knife on the back of Hobbs. The rich get richer. Yeah, this is just gas. This is absolute gas right now.
I love it. I love how we started with a party that we're sitting there like, what are we doing? How are we gonna do this? And all of a sudden it's like, here, it's Christmas. Have fun. Yeah.
I mean, that's the power of Edge in this flag set. He is, to me, one of the best characters in this flag set. He can be there from start to finish, but he can also be pivoted out of. Like, you can very easily take Edge, get 10 key items, then pivot straight to mages. Or if you pick up a second viable Berserker, I'm going to say someone like Yang, not necessarily Kane, but a viable second Berserker, or maybe even a second Edge in Xenocat's case. You can definitely do some really good work with a Zerk team. So a lot of options opened up because of how strong this Edge is.
Yeah, and I honestly would put money on the fact that once these two are done in Antlion, there we're gonna see some divergence. I personally, I know you probably are as well. With the amount of firepower Edge has right now, I'm probably in Baron Inn right after this.
Yeah, normally I would want to not go to Baron Inn, and I would want to hold off until Ordeals. But with an Edge that's moving this fast and hitting this hard on Xenocat's side especially, you are going to be able to clear Baron Inn 2 pretty reliably. You don't really need those levels. You don't really need the spells. Yeah, I think Xenocat is definitely well prepared. That's a Grimoire rolling Ifrit to heal Ruby for 800 and cast Life 1 on the party. Yeah, that's a thing that just happened, folks.
You don't see that every day. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen that. Awesome.
It's one of the fantastic counter scripts that exists with Grimoires especially. There's a couple of bosses that have very weird reactions to them, like Paladin will counter particular elemental grimoires. Ogopogo will, Ruby in this case will as well. There's some really weird interactions with Ifrit, Shiva, and Rama coming out of the grimoires. But both our runners get their ninja star. Wu says thanks, but no thanks, and Xenocat opts to go find a Palom hanging out with Asura at the Baron Inn.
Hey, Possum. Did you know that we are 8.5 minutes in and we still don't have a key item yet?
Yes.
I wonder where they are.
On the moon.
That honestly is probably very true.
Which would make me very sad. Because I like to clear Earth on this flag set. I would be sad. But they're all on the moon. So that may put something like a D-Machine grind, I know, into play. Because if you get Darkness Crystal and you have like 2 key items, you kind of need XP in some way, shape, or form. And oh, hey, there's even a Soma drop at the Fabul Defense.
Yeah.
Excuse me, at the Fabul shop. That makes it even easier to do a D-Machine grind.
I know it's an interesting trigger to pull. I mean, obviously, we know the power of sirens and everything like that, but sometimes the seed just tells you, well, that's a key item. That's a pan. Sometimes the seed just tells you, hey, get up on the giant and do your thing.
Yeah.
So it's curious to see where this continues, but obviously our limitations now tell us that underground access is gonna be in one of 2 spots now.
Yep, Ordeals or where Wewbear is at Fabul Defense.
Yeah. Also, that's a nice shot.
It is. That's Starvale's Door Rages and Cabins. I'd like to pick up a couple of Door Rages. 10 cabins. All right, Xenocat is not going to have to worry about camping for the rest of this seed. That's a lot of cabins.
It's a prodigious amount of cabins. I like it.
Xenocat has not checked the free key item yet, actually. With that looting and then finding Edge on hubs, just decided, hey, I'm going to go hit things. Which makes sense because Xenocat's Edge is absolutely hitting things. We'll get the not so key item here, as the Fabul Defense does have the Magma key. So that is that's our underground access, the logical underground access anyway.
So we'll pose you the question. You're 10 minutes in. Obviously, we know the pans in Baron Inn. You have a Magma key for Wu, you have characters, but you have a Tella. Is it Ordeals? Are you underground immediately? Where do you go from here?
I like Ordeals and Baron Inn before going underground. You don't have any impetus to go underground except exactly Sheila 1. Like the Feymarch freebie, yeah, but you kind of want to be able to maybe beat something up while you're down there, even if it's by cheesing it with hourglasses or coffins. Like even freebies right now with this team are very tough to beat. So you want to at least have a prayer and a chance. Right now, I don't think our runners have a prayer and a chance at Feymarch, so I think you want to keep clearing stuff until you get a better team, and you can really kind of get the party started with multiple party members, not just one Edge and a Dream. You want maybe that Palom, that Porum, that Edge, and a Tella Anchor. That's a viable endgame team. And oh, Xenocat.
Hey!
There you go, Martin.
Hey!
Your chest had a star veil in the Chocobo Forest.
Never underestimate the power of a good star veil, especially one that is free. So, don't worry, folks. Most of the time that never plays out, but sometimes it does all right.
I've never seen you pull a curse ring from that Chocobo check 2 times in 4 races.
I plead a fifth on that. Thank you very much.
The 5th, Martin. The 5th.
Sorry.
This isn't the Ocho. We're not after dark yet.
Oh, wait, it's dark somewhere.
Oh, that's true. It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, heading up Mount Ordeals, we have a very out of place octopus, squid, cousin of Ultros. I don't know. Whatever Octomam is doing up on this mountain, it should be in the waterfall.
I thought you were going to go a different route with that, considering your affection for all things sushi. I mean, you know, that could have been a thing too.
Yeah, I believe I've eaten all of the sushi, so I don't have any room for more.
Oh, okay. I don't think antlion though would make great sushi though. I feel like that might be a bit no.
If we can defang it, I think it'd be okay.
I don't know. I'm imagining a piece of sushi with like one of the googly eyes in it and just being like, I'm never eating this ever again in my life.
I mean, it kind of looks like a land shrimp. It's an arthropod of sorts, right?
Awesome.
Too much of a stretch? Okay.
Yes.
Gas station sushi. Yes, this is antlion is gas station sushi.
That's so bad. Oh. You know, in another world, these counters from antlion would actually be a problem. When you have an edge hitting for, 800-900 damage, though, counters, who cares?
It was also nice that all those counters hit edge and not like Porum or Tella to make it a potential problem. Edge has more than enough HP to get through this. But we do see the power of this this particular edge on Xenocat's side. Having done Baron in, which I think is a slightly longer check than Fabul, is only one boss behind Wu here, and more importantly, is going to be getting some early levels on this Palom and get him quicker to Virus and or Quake. Whether or not Sirens are available, that XP on the kid is very important.
Yeah, very much so. Unfortunately, the prize from Ordeals, well, I mean, it's a black belt, we have a ninja that would be more than excited to have it. But, like you mentioned earlier, like, you look at Xeno's screen right now, this is an endgame party. Like, this, I have no problem literally just, like, characters, I don't care, this is it. And it's a really good party. That being in mind, as you're bopping around, obviously Xeno has the pan. Is a dwarf fade possibly in play? We know how long that dwarf check is. We know it's a key item, but it takes a minute.
I do wonder if dwarf gets faded until after shopping and seeing what's available. I think if there's no sirens available, dwarf gets faded 0% of the time. I think if there are sirens available, then you might consider popping one to get Quake on Palom and then heading in to do Dwarf Castle to see if maybe you can find a Rydia, a second Palom, a Rosa, one of the more premier characters for either 30 sirens in a dream, 15 sirens after 10 key items, whatever it might be, even a D-Machine grind. Any of those grind options, you want to have more endgame and the better tiered endgame characters available.
Okay. Let me throw a wrench into it. You go to the March, the freebie's the Darkness Crystal.
I mean, are sirens available or not?
I mean, you have Edge. Sirens are always available. Let's say not available for purchase. Let's go with that.
You're never stealing 30. You don't really want to be stealing 10 or 12. Porum with Cry makes it easier, but yeah, I don't know about all that. I think if it's looking like you don't have a lot of key items and there's no sirens available, yeah, D-Machine is fine. This party is a little tricky to set it up with, because Palam's going to be, well, Palam, and he's the Cid of Mages. Porum is not exactly that much faster. Tella is roughly the speed of Molasses, and Edge is moving like Superman. So you're going to have to deal with a lot of turn jumping. Edge makes D-Machine grinds very awkward. That would be my only cause for concern with a D-Machine here is maybe you would drop Edge for like a Yang or something. Or a second Black Mage and kind of YOLO and play a little fast and loose. Maybe hope that Val just doesn't show up. Yeah. Any number of things could go wrong either direction, but Edge D-Machines are a little scary because of the turn jumping.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And for those that don't know why, we talk about throwing away Edge, Val is unfortunately a thorn in Mage's party sides greatly. She shows up in roughly like 50 to 60% of locations on the game, where once she spins, she has perfect magic defense, which means nothing gets through her. So when you have a party of mages, you kind of wonder how you're gonna do damage to her. In the meantime, she doesn't care. She's gonna weak you, punch you, and kill you. So that's the only threat of converting to a full mage party without having Val off the table.
Yeah, and we do see now Wewbear, even with a slight gear disadvantage here, because he had better counter RNG from the Antlion, not having to keep that Palam alive, was able to get through the overworld a little faster, and is dropping that Magma Key just over the 18.5-minute mark. Xenocat probably going to be somewhere around a minute to a minute and a half behind. Although, again, with better weaponry, with more power. But if, a bunch of Sirens show up and a lot of free XP, that early edge, pun intended, will be cut into.
Absolutely.
But you're in Wewbear's shoes, Martin. Where are you going first?
It's not even a question. You're sorry, Yang. You're getting bonked. Like, I'm pretty sure. I know it's a few floors down in Sylph Cave. I'm pretty sure when he hears the airship flying over, that he's like, "Oh, not again." Really?
Well, you say that, and here we are in Dwarf Castle.
Right. So this is, obviously we both play the game. This is kind of the typical rotation. At least for us, it's usually, hey, you're shopping, you're looking for hourglasses, coffins, etc., so forth. Anything that might make your trip into the march, if there's a free fight there, possibly doable. Also, if you can take dwarf, if you don't have the pan in your inventory, taking a shot at that, maybe, and seeing if you get the pan from here, which does happen quite a bit. But yeah, it's what are you looking for? Obviously, you buy weapons for Edge. Charm Rod for sale there too is interesting. But it looks like Wu leaning on the power of Edge, buying him weaponry, buying him a strength ring, and probably just gonna be flexing on him for quite a while.
Yeah, and I think I do like Wewbear's routing here because, again, we kind of talked about when you go into the Fame Arch, you want to at least have a fighter's chance against something, because even free things aren't free with an early party. Like, people say, oh, there's going to be 2 guards down there, they're going to be free. Well, yeah, they're going to be free, except those 2 guards are going to devastate 2 people on your party. Yes. And they're going to be fast, and they're probably going to devastate more people after that. So the coffins help mitigate that. Hourglasses help mitigate that. That particular shop was not very good in Tomra, but it did at least have silk webs, which can be very handy. But those coffins in Dwarf especially, I do like this play. I would have eaten a small time loss to go pan bonk first into Fame Arch here, just to see if maybe you get something else, something really cool, a ninja shirt even. For defense, Murasame and another ninja sword, etc. I like getting that pan bunk in before going to Fame Arch, but I think it's generally not impactful. So it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Yeah. On Wu's side, obviously, we're seeing more looting here. I'm not against this. Your Sirens don't afford themselves. So, unfortunately, you do have to loot to sell some things in order to afford the Sirens. Unfortunately, that is a Sand Ruby. So that's a character that in all reality we probably don't need or we're going to take. Thanks, Kane. Bye-bye.
Well,
On
there's
Xeno's side, though. Xeno's side?
There's an interesting thing
Oh, I know where
with
you're
Kane,
going with
though,
this.
that
Yeah.
if you want to go mages,
Yeah.
or mages with an edge, or however you want to do it, Kane can then pivot to be your anchor. You have a Drain Sword. That puts him at 6 agility, and that's your Val protection. It's there.
That's a future problem, though. That's the, hey, I finished my grind. I have mages with very large spells, and then I go grab Kane and shove them in the uh-oh.
So the king spot is required, and we're not peeking it, which is interesting.
Yeah, because if that's Plague, that gets really interesting.
Yeah, if it's Wyvern, it's interesting. If it's Ogopogo, it's interesting. Wewbear may be saying, I'm not comfortable with any of it right now, but looks like he is going to steal some Sirens, heading on over to the tower. There's only one reason you'd go here without the tower key, and it's not Keyless Tower at this point.
No.
Wewbear is looking to steal some Sirens, get some levels on his characters. Probably not head back to the Feymarch anytime soon, even with the objective there. But then go blow up his choice of spots, which I think is right now limited to, what, Sheila 1, 2, and Dwarf Castle and Keyless Tower?
Yeah.
Not a lot of options.
You know, unless the pan turns into something, I mean, yeah, that's your direction. And I mean, with the lack of key items we have right now, you're gonna start seeing them in bunches. Like either it's some giant mega chain, or they're just gonna start popping up left and right.
And I am a little curious about the timing on the sneak for the Sirens here. I am curious what happens if a hook shows up from the pan, or a darkness crystal from the pan, and there's Sirens in one of those shops. Yeah. That's always the potentially concerning factor for me, is, you know, while this is a phenomenal idea and concept, you're eschewing freebies, and you're just saying, I'm going to do this, and I'm willing to accept the risk. Also, LOL Vampire. That's a reward that exists.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get levels out of this.
Yeah.
But you're still directionless, largely. So I like doing the pan bonk first and turning in Sheila 1 and 2, and then deciding, do I need to steal the Sirens or not? Because you're going to end up underground anyway. You're going to end up doing, at some point, Dwarf Castle, which probably sooner than later, given what is available for this team.
Yeah. Well, that's not direction. It's an item. It's a nice item. I love having that item. Nobody wants to walk the LST twice. But not direction, though.
Yeah, it's a passable reward, but it'll be nice.
Awesome.
70, 80, 90 minutes from now.
I see what you did there.
What did I did? I don't get it.
Passable item.
Oh, yeah. I guess it panned out in the end.
You can't see me. I'm shaking my head right now.
I can hear you shaking your head.
I know you can.
Let's see what Sheila 1 and 2 turn into. We get a ninja sword. That's actually detrimental to Xenocat, as odd as it sounds, because that takes away some of the advantage of having a ninja sword already. The second ninja sword, not nearly as good as the first, but we're also spending a little bit of time in the inventory here. But Sheila 2 is going to give us the hook. So about that whole siren thing I was just talking about, Mark.
I mean, it's not so much the character check, but yeah, you are there immediately, checking that shop and being like, please siren, just be here.
Or Bacchus. I don't believe we saw Bacchus either.
No.
I think we saw coffins. I don't think we saw hourglasses. So, like, this is potentially dangerous time-wise. It won't be too big a deal for Wewbear, but potentially another little bit of danger here because of the routing that we had talked about. Yeah, that's always a little bit of the fear when you do an early play like that, leaving freebies on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, coffins were in dwarf, right? So we've seen coffins, but not hourglasses. I don't believe.
No, we saw hourglasses. We
Oh,
did.
we
They
did?
were
Okay.
in the March.
So
Yeah,
we
I
have
believe Wewbear
elixirs.
bought one.
So that's elixirs, Leviathan, Bacchus, and Sirens.
Mhm.
2 of the 4 will be in this Eblin shop, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But meanwhile, Xenocat has completed Objective 2, returning the pan to Yang's wife. Wewbear will now be completing that, so both runners do have one objective complete. Wewbear is up a couple levels on his characters. And there's Sirens in the shop, so again...
Everything. It's sell it all. It's all gone.
I have a question for you, Mark.
Yes.
You are sitting on 4 key items. You have Dwarf Castle, Keyless Tower, and 2 Feymark spots.
Yep.
Trying to get 6 more key items.
Yep.
30, 26. How many you buying and how many you doing right now?
15 and 4.
So you're doing 4 now and 15 later?
Yes. No, 4 now, 11 later.
11. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 now gets you into the mid 30s. That might start getting the tier 3 spells on Palom. I'd say 15. By 15, everything else is boxed wine and lean on edge, and here we go.
Yeah, it looks like we had ninja swords for sale as well. We do have Wewbear heading on into Dwarf Castle. So we're going to be the first runner to give us news of what's there. That is Karate Man. So more Yang sightings, but this is a Yang that is going to be quite punchy.
Yeah. Yeah, this spot, I'm not going to say it's underestimated, but I mean, we do know this spot has a little bit of power on both sides, both magic and physical. So the runners understand this, so it's probably why Edge is in the back row, because, well, okay, well... So about that Edge. I'm waiting to see him take a punch.
I mean, Edge will probably live through this, but no one else will. No. Maybe this Quake will finish, actually.
If not that swing night, no.
All right, well, yep, Edge stands alone. Which could be dangerous depending on the second boss here. If this is like Dark Imps or something, it actually gets a little bit sketchy because that's 3 punches, and because this is Golbez in vanilla, it only uses magic, albeit terrible magic. Yeah, you don't want to see punchy things here.
No.
That is probably fine. The 2 guards are scarier than the 1, but probably fine. That's a bard.
No, that was a bard, past tense. So yeah, you're fine here. 1 flame and we're out of here. So
yeah.
Okay, so not a completely terrible dwarf castle. So I mean, even with this party, there could be some things that are terrible here, but not many.
Yeah, and I think on Wewbear's side, one of the things that ultimately ended up being good for him, but can be scary sometimes, is being fully anchored here. Actually, I think helped him out rather than hurting him because of the way that his turn order was able to be controlled. And I did not look to see what Xenocat's anchoring situation is, but an Edge in the middle here, while it might help for this first fight, could be a little scarier on the second fight when those guards are going to be guaranteed to get some punches off.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here waiting to see if this is a key item.
I mean, if it's not, you got to start thinking about pulling the trigger. Well, that's pretty funny.
About that bard.
This might be a situation where Palom may not be long for this team.
Yeah, a case can be made here, and you have Sirens available. Like
Tella, for all his faults, still knows Stone and Virus and some of the more technical mage spells. Eddie and Edge, Eddie with a spoon, of course, and Edge with Ninja or Ninja Long.
Yeah.
There's some potential here for double Zerker.
I would say that is a lot of damage you're outputting, and you have access to Bacchus and Eddie's fast. So with Tella as your anchor, you've got RA1 set up. I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
I love me some mages, but this is hard for me not to just be like, Ed, I'm sorry I threw you away. Come back.
Yeah, I think I would lean Eddie and Edge and Porum and Tella on the overworld. And I think I would try to press my luck with those four.
Yeah.
But at the same time, knowing Baigen's at Ashura, and that turtle ain't that great either at the top of tower. This might be one of those seeds where 25 Sirens is the play, regardless of who your party is. Because that's a mean turtle. If you don't nerf the waves, and I don't know what Wewbear has for wave nerf, and I know Xenocat bought 6 Store Rages.
Yeah.
This could be a rough turtle.
Yeah.
We have a Zeus Rage and a Thunderclaw.
And a Bacchus, so
this Zeus Rage needs to come out, like, right now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so everybody's dead. Actually, in all reality, Edge could be dead.
Uh-oh.
4 to 6% of what looks to be about 16,000 HP is about to fire. Well, 14,000. There's a chance.
I think Edge is going to take about 750 here. Everyone else probably dies.
Yeah.
Can he output enough? Oh, it was a low roll.
All right.
I might have this.
Yeah.
Probably does, actually. All right.
I mean, I love DPS racing the turtle, but sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to.
Now, this is interesting. Xenocat knows where Sirens are and is sneaking them instead. This may be just straight up a money problem.
So, okay, so I'll pose you the question. Obviously we talked about Edward and, all this. It's difficult to afford both Sirens and I'll call it a nominal amount of Bacchus, probably because you won't need more than, from this point in the seed, if you're running Eddie, you won't need more than 20. If you're going to run Edge, probably no more than 10. But that's 50 grand. And we're on S quarter. That's not easy. Oh, wow, the value.
Oh, a Drain Spear, yikes.
The value.
So that means we are now looking at the
March.
Fey March? And that's
March.
it, right?
Yeah, the March.
Yeah.
So, hey, about that 25 Sirens.
So we are staring dead in the eyes of Baigen, and do we know what the Mystery Sparkle was?
No, nobody looked.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So Wewbear does not know that Sirens are available. Xenocat does, and I think this is the first time in the Adamant Cup that I have seen dueling Siren Sneaks.
And reset out? I wonder if we realized, hey, I haven't checked the hook yet, forehead. Maybe I should go check.
Yeah, maybe looking at that right now.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going. I'm going to feel really silly if Sirens are here. Spoilers, woo, 15 minutes in the future, they're there.
Xenocat has had enough. Xenocat also getting their vampire. Oh, baby, the value.
Yeah.
And onward we go. Xenocat does not know what's at top of tower. So Wewbear is up that top of tower check. Xenocat is... I didn't see how many Sirens are available, but looks like the Bacchus that were purchased may be coming back to haunt Xenocat a little bit, although you can never go wrong with some good wine.
No, not at all. I mean, even though, yes, it's box wine, I mean, look, the characters in Free Enterprise, they aren't picky. Like, wine is wine, it's effective. Hey, speaking of effective, you know what else is effective? Selling Leviathan. That's effective. That's a great money generator.
We have seen exactly 0 Rydias.
Yeah.
We've also seen neither runner check the hook route character, which is a little interesting to me. I thought someone might have pulled the trigger on that and taken a peek.
Do we need? It's like we go back to this is a part. I mean, even if you take the Edward, like you have 2 viable parts. What do you look at? Maybe exactly Rosa?
I mean, second edge.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but we just hawked all the weaponry for Sirens.
Well, sure.
So
Yeah, looks like we're gonna get 16 Sirens on Wewbear's side.
Okay.
And Xenocat, I think, stole Sirens but hasn't done them yet, and is probably gonna wish they had.
Yeah.
Once they see this turtle, as this is not a friendly turtle.
So can I revise my prediction on how many Sirens I think we should be doing now?
Is it 16?
No, I'm still not gonna say all 16. But I will say probably because of what might be sitting at that Leviathan, so I would say at least 10.
Okay.
You're going to want to be in the low mid 40s in case that sparkle happens to be, oh, I don't know, Ogopogo.
Danger on Xenocat's side, we have not gotten a single swing in yet, and the wave is already up.
Uh-oh. Is that going to fire in time?
It barely will, but it's not going to nerf the wave.
Yeah, that wave is still going to come out.
So Edge will be
standing,
doing his thing for our second runner. Although this Edge is not doing the damage that the Thunderclaw did, and is going to take another punch. So this needs to get all the way past the second wave, and Xenocat says nope.
No. Good call on Xeno's side, understanding that that's not, and not wasting the 10 seconds to sit through the wave and find out, oh yeah, it did kill me.
This is interesting though. Xenocat going back in now with Edge in the middle. This spot, if I'm not mistaken, has somewhere in the mid 30s agility. It's quite quick.
I'm intrigued.
Now, Xenocat has played a ton of Lit 3 with like 3-person parties and lots of wild settings and things like that. It looks like it's only 27 agility, so that's still not great.
I mean, unless this has to do exactly with, obviously, Thor Rage timing.
It may, and maybe the Thor Rages will fire in time, but now you're also down a Berserk on Edge, which means you're going to have to nerf multiple waves. It's just going to really drag this out.
I was going to say, unless the Bacchus came out right now, and basically we're waiting for the punch, and Poram's going to throw the Thor Rage immediately.
He's got to get back in the queue.
Or a Zeus Rage, that works too, so.
Hopefully this is buffered.
Yeah, this might be the rotation for it. That should work. So, Palom cast spell. That's dangerous.
I think Xenocat's got it this time. This is very well managed. I would not have thought personally to put Edge in the center here, but that is my own thought process of I thought this spot was faster. Only 27 agility makes this a lot easier than what I thought it was, which was in the mid 30s for agility.
Yeah, I would not be surprised, like you spoke of earlier, with all the Lit 3 that Xeno runs. It would not surprise me if they had run into this situation before and was like, oh yeah, no, I know how to do this if this isn't working. It's gonna look silly, but I promise I've done it before.
Yeah. And Martin, we are down to 7 Sirens on Wewbear's side, so we are 10 deep.
Okay. I mean, you have to hold a few back, right, Possum? I mean, even if it's only like 3, 10 key items, some dragons on the moon, you gotta hold something back, right?
You do get money to buy more.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the saving grace. Maybe wants level 3 spells as well
Hmm.
on the kid if the kid doesn't already have them.
Mm.
Probably does already.
Yeah. Xeno, unfortunately, bad news. Yes, it was literally just a drain spear.
Yeah, and so that means our runners both now in the kind of grind and go, but not go to Z, kind of grind and go to the Feymarch stage of the proceedings.
Hey, Possum. I see dueling eggs. It's not 5 eggs, but I'm seeing dueling eggs.
Yeah, I know why you bring that up. Some seeds just point you in a certain direction and leave you without a choice. And this is a seed that is pointing you in a direction and leaving you without a choice.
Yeah.
The singular, the only option is you need levels to get through this Feymarch. The king spot is required. We don't know what the sparkle is, so maybe you can get through a plague there.
Yeah.
But
also, Chat brings up a very valid point. It is Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. This is
happy Passover.
This is fitting. Right up to the point where eggs hatch dragons, because I'm pretty sure we don't want small children playing. Well, okay, there might be some children I wouldn't mind having an egg turn into a dragon, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird conversation too. But hey, enough about that. We have Wewbear, who is approaching some very high levels here. That's not great though. We did 190 damage to an egg. We're bopping. Well, edge crit, so no issues now. But we see quite an advantage in HP and in levels on Wewbear's side. Now in the mid 40s for levels here. Not quite going to get to nuke. I do wonder if we're going to see him go back and purchase some more. But we also have Xenocat here quickly catching up. And remember to go give our runners a follow. I promise you that their content and their ability to play this game is much more than just than hitting these eggs with viruses, quakes, and ninjas.
Yes.
Oh, and Xenocat and Wewbear going to head into the Feymarch. Nope, Xenocat heading into the Feymarch. Wewbear may be heading back for more sirens and maybe saying, the time is now, I want nuke. Nuke is a nice thing.
Well, to Woo's point, Woo spent all his money on sirens and did not buy any Bacchus. So maybe a couple of word tackling this march might be an okay idea. Maybe, possibly, hopefully.
Could be.
Nah, he's probably buying more sirens.
It says, what can I sell?
Mm-hmm.
Is that 27?
Yep, sell the cure one, sell the cure twos. They're 100 apiece. Just yeah,
right,
sell
there we
3
go.
of them.
7 more sirens. I don't know if that's going to get him there. We're level 46 on Palom, 7 sirens. I think he's going to be shy by 1 or 2 levels of getting nuke still.
Yeah. I want to know who this Sparkle is. I don't know, Possum. I would have spied this early.
Agreed.
Oh,
boy.
baby. Well,
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm waiting to hear your spin on this, where this comes out as something good.
Here's the thing. Look.
Okay. Yeah, about that.
Look. So Edge has Blink, right? We have Bacchus Wine. We have 3 people that know Blink.
Yes.
Ogopogo is weak to Berserk. I mean, not actually weak, but that's how you kill Ogopogo, is with Zerkers. Yeah. So Palom is a glorified potato here. But if you blink enough people and you just stay Zerked, this is doable.
Oh, yeah. It just takes time.
The issue right now is that Edge doesn't have a blink on it. Tella doesn't have a blink on
really hard. Like, really hard.
Blinking Palom here, I would actually prefer to just have Palom fall over and not even be in the queue. Don't soak up the heals. you know, don't even be involved.
Mhm.
Um, I think it would be easier to manage 3 people with blinks instead of 4. You don't have Palom's turn scuffing up your order.
Mhm.
But Xenocat may be able to get through this because of Blink
Yeah.
and because of Berserk, and
Yeah.
it can very well be done.
Yeah.
That's my
Absolutely.
positive spin on it.
Okay.
Did I
Here.
sell you?
Hey, you know what else would make this fight really great too?
Nuke?
Spoonward.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Spoonward.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because then you would be like, oh, Palom, right.
Yeah. About that.
Yeah, then you'd have 2 Zerkers and 2
Two blinkers.
Blinkers.
And
Yeah.
well, we know where that's going. So, well, bye, Tella.
There's a lot of bluffs coming out from the kid too. So Xenocat may be ramping up for like one big
Mhm.
kind of alpha strike at the end of this.
Yeah. Count the damage and finish with a mega quake.
Lit 3 would be a little dangerous because if I'm not mistaken, Ogo counters lightning with weak.
Yes.
So Quake probably safer, especially with Cure 3 on Porum. Even after a double wave, this is going to be fine. So this will drop everyone another quarter because of the Blaze counter, but that Cure 3 will heal everyone back up. So it's very well managed by Xenocat to this point. There is a potential fear of now the same person getting attacked twice, a blink falling off and then them falling down, but it's fairly unlikely. And also gets good targeting there with Edge getting hit who had a fresh blink on.
You know what my potential fear is here, Possum? When this
No
ends up being
MP on
exactly
Porum?
a samurai hat and Bigen has your next item that you need.
Well, I mean, Bigen is... Are you really going to not touch Bigen after you just beat Ogo Pogo at Leviathan?
I'd like to hope you go save first.
Yes, I also hope so.
Okay, just throw that
But
out
yes,
there.
very well done to Xenocat, and of
Uh-oh.
course, there's our Darkness Crystal. I
Yep.
still don't think you get away from Bigen. I think you have to do Bigen here.
You have to. There's no way around it.
But that was extremely well done by Xenocat. And
well
Wewbear is, I think, going back to steal the rest of his
3
sirens.
sirens.
So this has turned into the longest, most convoluted 30 Sirens in a Dream, but it is a means to an end, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, hey, to Woo's point, I mean, hey, fantastic that the first 2 treasure chests in Lower Babel were both eyeballs. I mean, that's convenient.
That's true. So this is going to put Woo objectively ahead on levels. Everything he does from this point will be faster. For Xenocat, though, is probably going to be out of the Fame Arch, completely done with it by the time Wewbear gets down there. So it's going to be up to fairly long checks. We'll see if the levels can make up that time.
Okay, can this be the samurai hat now?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, it can.
Excellent.
I think you can still get tier 4 from Fame Arch, right?
Pretty sure it's the case. I want to say I've acquired a samurai hat in my travels here before, so. And I'm also Team Hat, so.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm Team Full Moon. I'm biased.
Aww.
The whole I was in that group thing.
I'd be Team Throgorax, but, you know. Throgorax, you know.
Well, wouldn't that just be a hand axe? It's the only throwable axe, right?
I was gonna say it's more like a mutant hybrid between like a boomerang and an ogre-axe or something. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
10% tier 4 could hit here. So yes, it could be a samurai hat.
Yeah.
There is Nuke and White. Wewbear, having completed his grind at the 51-minute mark, is now ready to play the game.
Yeah. Of getting down to the march and seeing the sparkle and being like, wow, the value.
Is this an unblinked edge on Xenocat's side? It's probably fine, but I'm a little worried. Okay, now I'm way less worried.
I don't know. I think on Wu's side, I think we're going to see somebody throw a veil. And
Oh,
I
for
think there's
Ogo?
going to be a lot of bounce spells on Ogo.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
the cool part about Baigen for Wewbear is Wu can use Baigen's walls against him.
Hmm.
Once the quakes are out, you can then just start reflecting spells.
Yep.
Again, very well done by Xenocat, though. One-shotting the Fey March, getting a package, which is required, and a
Yeah.
Darkness Crystal, which is required. So better do your Fey March today, kids.
I'm kind of hoping the package is Edward again. You're like, hey, remember me and that spoon? Because I do.
I do want to say one other thing about this seed, interestingly enough. That's 7 key items on the blue planet. That
Yeah.
means there are 9 by way of the moon
Yeah.
or moon chains. That is wild distribution. So shout out
Oh.
to our restreamer Esgrunt for managing to roll this gem up and and giving us some of our better runners getting some of the more challenging seeds to have to play through. If I'm not mistaken, without trying to spoil too much, I think they also got a turtle at Elements in one of their prior races.
Yeah. Oh, that
So
that fight. Oh,
the,
that fight.
these two have been put through it by their various restreamers. Also, shout outs to Scythe Marshall for pushing the buttons that can be pushed to this point. And Martin, of course, yourself, keeping me in line on commentary after attempting to go into a sushi coma.
Awesome. The great part is, you know what? One, I love having you in the booth. Two, there will always be more sushi. So even though you may have failed today, there's always next time.
Well, Wewbear, having some difficulty with that Ogopogo, went for the Veil and the reflected nukes, and yeah, no dice from Ogopogo. So even with all those levels, was not able to get through first attempt. So advantage to Xenocat, who now is also back grinding some eggs. Maybe thinking, well, if I'm going to go to the moon, I might need a few more levels.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this, nice part about, getting these levels, looking at what we've seen so far, Ogo's off the table, the Turtle's off the table, Baigen is off the table. I'm very happy with what the moon quite possibly might have to offer at this point. So, yes, we've seen King and Queen Evelyn, yes, we've seen a flavor of the guards, but I feel like the moon is going to lean a little towards possibly the easier side now.
I would agree as well.
Bosses are out of the pool.
Yeah, I mean the big nasty that we haven't seen is probably the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So like, we can always hope that it's a required gauntlet at the Unasamane altar. I know that you have had to deal with one of those in the last 18 hours.
Yeah,
so,
it was a great time.
That's always a fun time for chat and the runners, but mainly chat. Yeah, there's always a lot that can still be feared on the moon. But I think for our runners, the bulk of the bad news is out of the way. Like you said, Baigen, Ogopogo, that antlion out of the way as well.
Yeah.
A lot of nasties are out of the way. Asura was a Baron in 1 and can be nasty too. So a lot of tough bosses are gone. And welcome to our friends from Commander Leonhardt. We are about an hour into our race number 3 between Wewbear and Xenocat. Our runners have managed to find 7 total key items with a full clear of the Earth. Baigen at Asura had a package. Ogopogo at Leviathan has the Darkness Crystal. Yeah, this is what our runners have had to endure. Wewbear decided that he was going to get Nuke and White and level 50 on his characters. Xenocat decided that they were going to get to the mid-30s and conquer that Fey March, showing some pretty dang good technical skill to get through all that. So you've joined a doozy.
Yeah. Also, sadly, you may have missed the fact, 1, it's Easter, 2, there were a lot of eggs. There were so many eggs today.
I, for one, being of certain faith and just happy that we did not pass over all the eggs. What?
I know you can hear it. I don't need to say it.
Yep, it's weird. I can actually hear the wind whooshing around you from the head shaking so quickly.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, hi. What is this? And is it dangerous? And does it have a hat? It doesn't have a hat.
No, but it's still dangerous because it punches.
It is dangerous.
Anything that punches here is dangerous.
Yep.
Less dangerous because Image, aka Blink, is a heck of a spell. Still dangerous. That was 3,000. That is more health than Tella can even ever have. Other than with apples.
You know, I feel like Tella never read the fine print. I was like, hey, I'm going to start a seed. Do you know what you're getting yourself into?
Yeah, Tella is having a Monday a little bit early.
That hurts.
The funny part is, that hit from Pale Dim nearly could have killed Xenocat's entire party had it been spread.
Yeah. Great, just what we need. AoE punching. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Please?
Spoilers, it wouldn't be great. It'd be horrible.
Well, I mean, Yang or Karate kind of has it.
Sort of.
So I think this is a situation also on Xenocat's side where Palam's just going to have to stay on the ground, and this is going to be a very slow battle between Edge and the Pale Dim. Well, Xenocat says, not so fast. Let me get this this Palam back up.
Well, slow in every sense of the word, right, Papa? Yeah.
Oh, and Wewbear, well, guaranteed to get through this.
Yep. Also, I was going to bring up a point. Stress brought up a very valid point in chat. Bigen has a hat. If you've ever looked at Bigen's sprite, Bigen has a hat.
So I think Bigen has bad posture, not a hat.
He could have both.
Fair.
I don't know. I honestly wish we could just page Will and be like, hey, Will, could you redo that fight for us, please? We have a question.
And Xenocat is now down their blinker and kind of treading a little bit of water here, trying to stabilize this. I think this is where wanting that Palam to be alive versus needing that Palam to be alive, those are two different things. And I think that want may get Xenocat into a little bit of trouble here. Well, this Pale Dim needs to die soon.
How close are we? If we're not one swing away, we have questions.
Yeah, this needs to be now. Or maybe Edge lives a hit. Nope. Yeah, so that's the issue with trying to get that Palam back up. I think you can get through that fight with just Porum and Edge, but by bringing that Palam back up, you expose yourself to not having Blink on everyone. I think you just have to eat the fight, and it's going to be slow, and you just run with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is what Wewbear needed, though. Wewbear now going to be hot on Xenocat's heels, going to be effectively behind a trip to the moon, a potential walk down Cave Bahamut, maybe only a minute behind, and has Nuke and White and a buttload more HP.
All very useful things, I feel like, for, you know, whatever is sitting up here on the moon. So Possum, we're seeing divergence. You have an objective that literally is all the way at the bottom of the moon, but you have a pass in your hand. I personally like the Xeno play of doing this one, just because, well, reasons that we won't get into. In a vacuum, are you at the bottom of the moon, knowing what you know and what you have?
Yep. Yeah, very plainly, yes, I'm at the bottom of the moon here. I think this is Xenocat making this play, saying maybe something to the effect of, I'm not comfortable in my situation, I don't want to do the whole 30 siren thing. If my opponent did, I'm afraid if they go straight to the bottom, I'm in danger. Maybe I want to try to get to 10 key items first. Just a lot of rough situations lie ahead here for Xenocat that Wewbear is just not going to run into because of the levels, or shouldn't run into because of the levels.
Yeah.
Like, I think this fight is very doable for Xenocat. I think most of them are. But I think ultimately, because of that one wipe to Pale Dim, and that was a long wipe, I think that this is now Wewbear's race to lose, as opposed to Xenocat's race to win.
Yeah. That's fair. I'd love to make this a little bit cheeky, though. Have this be exactly the Baron key.
I mean, you would get full value from everything that way.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I hope as much as we love seeing all the characters flickering on Xenocide, Tella at some point probably needs to die.
Yeah.
Maybe PMM will take care of it. There we go. See? Just like that. Easy every time. All right, Woo, where are we going? Ribbon.
I like the ribbon room here. It's the most key items.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's free.
Yeah. Hey, Possum, you know what else would work great here, too? Spoonward.
Spoonward? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Xenocat is through and is rewarded with a required tower key.
Works. That's
So,
an item.
Well,
awesome.
Here's a question.
Baron key is at the bottom.
Uh-huh. Well, also, what if the Baron key is behind this tower key or at the Murasame altar?
Oh, this could be fun.
Does the ball swing back into Xenocat's court? Going to check it immediately. Saying, I am now one key item from go mode.
Did Xeno dump a save?
I didn't see one. I mean, it's an objective anyway, the tower key, so...
Yeah.
To answer a question from chat, top of tower not required. Top of tower was a drain spear from a Kainatsu. Yeah, this is just going to be Xenocat going and doing the tower, the super cannon room rather, and just completing that objective and saying, I'm chasing what I invested my time in on the top of the moon. This is the counterplay, as chat had pointed out earlier.
I love the commit. It's like, if you're gonna do it, yeah, finish it out and see. I think the only punish, well, it's not really a punish, but if this ends up being like, I don't know, an Earth Crystal or a Twin Harp, how committed are you?
I think you have to fully commit to whatever you get from this.
Yeah.
You have decided that you're save scumming, or not save scumming, you are completing this objective. You're doing this basically saying, I'm taking this extra time to make this check to fly back and forth, and not necessarily gambling that it's here, but taking, and there's the Baron key. So now whatever comes from this is a problem for Xenocat. So Xenocat now needs this to be a blank, because we in the booth are now in no mode, meaning we know where everything is.
Yep. Now, like you said, if this is a blank, Xeno's back on the moon, Xeno's at the bottom, and Xeno will have everything to basically, turn and burn the seed. Wu is completing the entire moon in all reality.
Yeah, I mean, Wu is at the minimum completing the bottom 4. The question is, at that point, does Wu chase? Does he do the Murasame spot? Does he do Value Cave? Like, when do you do the top of the moon if you're in Wewbear's situation? Versus in Xenocats, the bottom of the moon makes a lot more sense now, because you're still going to be one key item away. But if this is like an Earth Crystal, a Twin Harp, a Luca key, I think on Xenocat's side, you might still be in chase mode.
Yeah. Yeah,
So this is
much so.
very tough.
It's I don't know what you would do in your shoes. It's hard to fade the moon when you have enough firepower to blow up anything standing in your way.
Yeah, in
And you don't
Wewbear
want
shoes,
to come back.
right? In Wewbear shoes, everything is a freebie.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, should be.
Yeah.
Usually will be. Mom Bomb's having other ideas on that. But
Mm.
in Xenocat shoes, I can see it because Xenocat decided not to do the full grind.
Hmm.
The spoon is no more. Wewbear saying, I am tired of this Mom Bomb. Get out of my game.
That's fair. There's spots we don't like seeing Mob Bomb. This is one of them. So,
Chat called it. Shout outs to
baby.
Berserk now.
Good call, Berserk.
Knowing that there are many things that could have shown up in Adamant armor, yeah, that is huge for Xenocat to go
Yeah.
jump back to the moon. And also, it looks like we had Berserk now and Mr. Bus Driver both calling for the pigtail there. So
There you
very
go.
well done. A little bit of chat's blessing for Xenocat here.
Okay, so here we go. This might actually help Xeno, but it has to route this way. Xeno's at 9 key items.
Hmm.
You do the objective immediately. You get the Legend Sword from it, you're at 10. You do the Ribbon Room, you get full pop from that. You get your Baron Key.
Yeah.
It's sketchy on the level side of how close we're going to be. I still think there's going to be maybe a couple Sirens involved.
Oh, yeah. You're grinding to nuke and then you're putting the Adamant armor on Palom.
Yeah.
You're riding Adamant Edge through the moon, but Adamant Palom gets you through Z. That's my read on it, or that's how I would personally handle it. But I also love moving my Adamant armors around, and a lot of folks detest doing that. Now, Wewbear's side, we see him very quickly get through the Dark Imps at the Plague spot and picks up the other half of Forge. So Wewbear now heading through, has the bottom of the moon done, is going to the Crystal Sword altar, whichever part of the moon that's considered. I don't know if it's top or bottom or middle or what. But then we'll have that unenviable decision. Does he chase Baron right away? Does he do the top of the moon? He has 2 key item checks through that Baron and Baron basement. So I could very easily see him going and taking care of that, plus having picked up the Rat Tail. This top of the moon play from Xenocat, should they route in that Ribbon Room sooner than later, this may be quite simply a top down is going to beat a bottom up.
Yeah. You talk about Woo, and hi, Val. Hey, speaking of Val protection.
Yeah. So about that spoon.
About that spoon.
Oh.
Boy, would we love it to have for this exact fight.
You know what else you'd love to have? With a
Spoonwork.
Drain Spear and a Sand Ruby cane?
Yep.
A cane anchor.
Yep. Fantastic. So yeah, you talk about the Baron Key. Do you scum it? Do you leave? I see an Earth Crystal, a Twin Harp, and a Luca Key that all chain. This I feel like would have to be one of those 3 for me to even consider it. I feel like if this is a dud or a terminal item, which obviously we know it can't be because we know where the pink tail is. If this is a dud, I'm doing the top.
See, that's interesting because for me, I'm exactly the opposite. I have a required double objective in Baron that could just as easily lead to a tower key.
Yeah.
I'd be out of here, and I would be fading the top of the moon, and I'd be losing. And I'll happily be the first to admit that. This Val fight has gone a little sideways, though. I think that Porum is stuck.
Dead?
Well,
dead. You were going to say dead, yes.
No longer stoned as in the vanilla game, but is having a Monday. Can Edge solo this? We have probably one more week and Ray before Edge is going to get done in.
Yeah,
one more attack, so I think we have 1, maybe 2 more punches here. And he's through.
At least squeaked by. I'm okay with it.
And there is a glass hat.
Yeah.
Woo says, I will reset. I don't need the levels. I would like the HP back on my party. And where does Woo go from here?
I don't know. We'll see. We both have different ideas on what we would do.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, that was a save.
It is.
Is this the rat tail then, and not the Baron objectives? Because that's interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
This is a tertiary line that I had not considered. And Palom doing his best Fusoya impression and missing off Slot Stone. Shoutouts to the child trained by the Lunarian. I promise I'm not bitter. Nope.
Oh, Possum. You and off Slot Stone. It is the thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, and Palom has now failed 3 of them. That's actually quite unlucky. Edge is going to finish all of these Dark Imps off before Palom can manage to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Silly potato child.
I think Xeno's doing this because of the whole 9-10. Wow, look at that. Here's her complimentary crystal shield.
So no reset, but we left a save on the moon. This is interesting. So where are we going from here?
Yeah.
Or was that just a reflex save? Yeah, I think Wewbear is doing the Baron play, and yeah, this is what like I said, what I would have done, and I would have lost.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see this from Wewbear's side.
It comes down. I mean, it comes down to obviously, do you feel like you're behind? The quality of racer you're facing. If it'd be hard for me to pull the trigger on one, even though it's a double objective. It'd be hard. Like knowing that there's 4 out there. I guess it'd be one of those math things. Math of how many could chain behind and what are the odds of them all being behind Baron.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't need all of them. You just need one.
You just need, yeah.
And since you've got to do this anyway.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough. You absolutely cannot fault Wewbear for making this play. We know that in this moment it is not the right one, but the logic is there. It's very sound.
Yeah.
Oh, that adamant armor, though. Only taking 305 in the front row when Wewbear's edge was taking like 1,700.
Yep. Hey, we gotta see a sparkle. Hey, want to take any wild guesses on who this might be?
Blarg?
Hi.
Nice. Uh-oh.
No, sorry.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, good thing Wewbear saved on the moon. Oh, saved outside of Baron too. Okay, well.
What Possum? What is it with people in Blarg as of late? Help me out here.
Yeah. Yep. I don't have much for that, but yeah.
Hey,
it appears contagious.
I'm good. I'm immune to everything. No, you're not. Yeah. No, you're really not.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Xenocat has completed objective number 3, is now up objective 4, which is the shortest super cannon, and as soon as Xenocat completes this ribbon room, Xenocat will be our first runner in go mode.
Yeah.
Still has a lot to clean up, or at least a little bit to clean up, but will be there, and maybe Wyvern will get some revenge on Xenocat, or get some a double dose of runner for dinner. I don't know where I'm going with this. It sounds great.
I'm going to give all the credit to Wyvern this week. Wyvern has had the business for a good chunk of this week, so this is definitely thrown a few races into turmoil. So yeah, I'm here for it.
I have seen now 3 races that have had Wyvern not necessarily decide them, but certainly have an impact in the last 3 days. Now we also see that full moon coming out for Plague. This is just going to be bombs away on Plague
Yeah.
from Edge on Xenocat's side. That full moon going to be pushing with Berserk, probably 5,000 to 6,000 damage. And then between a virus and maybe an attack or two from Porum, this fight will be over pretty quickly here. Not actually going to lose that much time over Wewbear, who had all those levels going into this.
Right.
That Berserk with the delay going onto Porum, though, might be a little sketchy. She may not queue back up in time.
Hey, Possum.
Oh, no.
Found the gauntlet. It's right there.
Well, on the plus side, Nuke will take care of Conjurers that have exactly 3,000 health.
That is true.
On the downside, 5 fights.
Yep. This has turned out to be a great seed.
Yeah.
It really has.
I think I would have equally enjoyed and hated running this.
Yeah.
Probably hated it once I lost, but, you know.
Hey, I'm glad we get to relax at the comms booth for this one.
That's fair. Pure 4 on Porum, weak on Palom. That means we're 4 levels away. There's a Baron Key and a Rat Tail. Xenocat says, oh, hey, I'm in go mode.
Yep.
Let's go do the things. I do wonder, do we have Sirens left? If we do, how many? And where did they get used? Is it just eggs? What do we do? And do we save?
Asking the hard-hitting questions, Possum. I appreciate it.
Well, this is one of those save or die situations, right?
It really is. I mean, you one-shot eggs here. So, you know, if you have Sirens, you're just burning them on eggs. So, Edge does Edge things and life goes on. So.
Xenocat hopping into the non-Big Whale airship is going underground first. The nice part about this also, with Xenocat taking the time to grind first, is because of the amount of time that's going to pass from going through and doing all the moon checks to doing this grind to getting to Baron. Xenocat made you one of a couple of different things. First of all, save will almost always be one of those things. Secondly, Xenocat may look down to a notepad, may look at something, may realize, oh, right, it was a sparkle. Any number of things that could work in Xenocat's favor here. Not to mention, if the Adamant is on Palom instead of Edge, or if it's on Edge and dodges a roll, could just walk off the Mega Nuke.
Yes.
But needs a dodge roll.
And, well, as we've all seen in certain Z fights where Adamant does not live up to the name, because those counter nukes, oh boy, can they hit. So, Mega Nuke, it's just way worse.
But Mega Nuke at least, you know, splits the damage amongst everyone, kind of, a little bit. Oh, hey, more sparkles.
Yeah, more sparkles. Hey, who's left, Possum?
D-Lunar.
There you go.
I did math, right?
You did that. I'll allow it. It qualifies as math.
Yay.
Yeah. 5 minus 4 is, yes. Yeah.
5 minus 4 is D-Lunars, and there's 2 of them.
There you go.
Yay, math. Next, I'll find the second derivative of Palom. No? Okay. There's a save.
There's the Sid. Wait, is that the second derivative of Palom? Is it Sid?
I don't know, but I like the vanilla part of math.
Oh, okay.
It's tasty. I like how the new meme is just to save.
I mean, look what happens when you don't. I mean...
We had Bahamut, and I missed the sprite on the left. But Bahamut was keeping our characters from being crushed today. Just so we can get Blarged later or something.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Bahamut. Meanwhile, Wewbear has completed objective number 1 and objective number 6, defeating the Baron Castle basement and liberating Baron Castle. Picks up a life staff for his troubles, and where does Wewbear go from here? Well, back to the moon, because there's no other option.
Possum.
Martin?
They all chain.
Oh, yeah. Because they all
single
come
one
from
of them, they
Murasame,
all
right?
chain. What is it with this game and super chains, Possum?
Hey, Martin.
Oh, well.
Blarg.
You
We got dodge
know,
rolls on all 3 of them, by the way, and they still died.
can we just wax poetic really quick here for a second? Okay. We are not the last race of tonight. There's one more after this.
Are you
Wyvern
sure?
still got more chances, okay? We're not done yet.
Are you sure the runners of the next race are not just going to forfeit ahead of time, take a forfeit tie, and say, you know what, we'll come back tomorrow because we're tired of these stinking wyverns today?
Right?
I don't think they can do that. We have Wewbear heading to the Murasame altar. This is not where Wewbear needs to go, but this is where Wewbear has gone, while Xenocat is taking attempt number 2 at Wyvern. Yeah, we'll be adapting accordingly, I would hope.
I'd like to think so. Right? You don't try the same thing twice, right? Do you?
Well,
Maybe?
you know what they say about definitions of words and all, but if you
Yes.
keep trying the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results,
well, yes, we know where that
yeah.
goes. Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah, there's
try something slightly different.
Yeah. Like not dying. I hear that works.
Yeah, if you don't die, you normally win.
Yes.
Thankfully,
also, in some certain games, Possum, you know, if you die but the enemy dies at the same time, sometimes you tie.
I goes to the runner. In this case, they're both runners. Tie, tie, tie.
There you go.
Wait, can I say that? Am I allowed to anymore?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will this Thunderclaw activate on Wewbear's side? No.
No.
Because that would have been a whole lot more damage on Odin.
Yes.
Namely, it would have been 9,999 damages.
Yes.
Xenocat through Wyvern.
I've noticed that, and, you know, I bet there's a Wylem out there somewhere that can explain that. Have you noticed if you shift, like, if you're looking to do Elemental, and you shift to a weapon that has Elemental, that it doesn't activate? If you're doing it in battle?
It doesn't have a chance to update to that weapon, because you're not taking an action with it, so you're basically Berserk glitching.
Yeah.
You're giving, like, a separate animation, but not an actual, like...
Yeah, doesn't operate the same way as, you know, just, you know, an Avenger glitch or whatever.
No, that's
annoying sometimes.
Basically what it is, but it's not accepting the property of the Thunderclaw.
Yeah.
It's simply giving you a different animation.
Oh, look, it's an Earth Crystal. Okay, so they don't all chain. Aww.
They don't?
They don't. That's the Earth Crystal.
Yeah, wouldn't that lead to Twin Harp or Luca? Which leads to the other?
Well, yeah, but I was more no. Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rock Moth. That's
Wait,
my squirrel moment.
There was a moth on the...
There was.
Oh, okay.
Not for long.
I was going to say, moths are annoying. You ever have one flying around your room before and you're just like,
No, but I think part of that is also where I live, and previously because I had cats.
Oh, yeah.
And they saw them long before I did.
I would say cats are a great moth deterrent.
They are.
Yeah.
And I mean, since cats are basically domesticated possums, we get along well.
That's actually accurate.
Just trying to see if we can rile up chat now. Speaking of getting riled up, there's a clapper and there's a pale dim. Lots of dragons on the screen, and all of them are going to fall over.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey, you know what Wu doesn't have? I bet he wish he had right now? An adamant armor. Because if Edge gets... Okay, well, he's got blink now. Never mind.
Well, the thing about that adamant armor is it comes from the tower keep from the spot.
I know. But he still wishes he had it.
Of course. Yeah. Oh. Poor Palom. Fell over. Can't weak now.
Palom's back. Don't worry. I was gonna say, don't worry. Palom will die again.
He's trying. Alright, so we have the Pale Dim being evaporated on Wewbear's side. We have Xenocat clearing out the last of this gauntlet, I believe now moving on to the Baron Throne. Picking up Oh Baby, a cabin, which will not help either runner at this point. But we also see Wewbear down to an edge and a Palom. Should have enough damage in though, can just nuke and berserk his way through this fight.
Yeah.
We have a package and a Baron throne left for Xenocat, a package and a tower key left now for Wewbear. This is actually getting pretty close, even with the extra checks that Wewbear has done.
It's that early game power that we talked about earlier. It's the sooner you can flex on Nuke and White, I mean, fights go faster, and eventually the time starts making itself up.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see dueling Zeromus fights, but I think Xenocat is going to be in the fight first, and it's going to come down to execution for both of our runners here. That tower key check honestly is not that long a check. There's more flight time than there is kill time on it. Yeah. That flame also coming up 56 damage shy of killing the back dragon is a little awkward on Xenocat's side. Going to eat not one but 2 fires because of it. So that's a little bit more time bled back to Wewbear, who has levels as well. 59 on Edge, 57 on the Twins.
I think part of the Z fight that we're going to see here shortly too, not just execution, but also that counter nuke RNG. Yeah, I mean, you look at Xeno's party right now. There's 2/3 of the functional characters. We know Tella's just a potato. But 2/3 of the remaining characters, even with an Adamant, I've seen Adamant counter nuke still go for over 2100.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
It hits the wrong character, that's bad news.
Well, and that was a dancer, it looks like, who was the other side of the saving our party from pure disaster in Baron. No getting crushed today. But Xenocat picks up that life staff, has completed objective 6, and will be on their way over to complete the package for the crystal. Oh, that's right. It is Dr. Dialogue in the Super Cannon room, so that is a little bit of extra time that's going to be taken up here. Xenocat doing some menuing, going to get a bandana on, a black belt on. Are we going double Zerk here? No life staff being equipped?
This is interesting.
There's the life staff. Okay. I was getting concerned for a moment there. All right.
Oh, hey, there's Rosa.
Stay late and $1 short, doll. Rosa would have been amazing an hour ago, but yeah, this is not the time or the place.
No, sadly.
Now, I have a question for you, Martin.
Yes.
If you're Wewbear, turn into Springtail?
No. Not for a second.
So, you don't have the spoon to dart.
No.
You don't have the adamant.
No.
It's an interesting Z fight. Much less power.
I don't think so. I think Edge swings a few times. I think you have enough HP that unless you get really trolled on the second Big Bang, you're through the fight. But you would have to get high rolled on your 2 casters.
Fair enough.
And you're at 2200 HP, I believe, on pretty much close to both of them. You got blurred by a wyvern, but something, lightning can't strike twice, right?
I mean, our runners probably have never heard of possum RNG, so I'm sure they're safe. Because you would be fortunate enough to not have any of that stuff happen.
No.
And then there's me.
Yeah. Then there's... Yes.
So we do have Wewbear completing the tower key is behind exactly a package cutscene. Did the little vanilla skip over the town of Mist there. Speaking of Mist, is Xenocat missing the landing, crushing some houses, destroying the landscape outside of Troya. But Martin...
Poor Troyans. I feel Martin, so terrible for them.
Chat's skipping leg day. Oh, there they go. Okay.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, I see flags.
I also see flags. I think they're flags. Is it nap time?
I'm not. I don't know why they're like, hey, go take a nap. There's another race after this.
Food
Like, no, I'm
coma.
not here for a nap. I'm here for more
Food
free
coma.
enterprise. Wait a
Hey,
minute.
both runners have the crystal.
Hey, we're flying back to the moon. Why are we going to the moon, Possum?
Because I think there's a final boss we have to fight that can't be put anywhere else because it'd be kind of rude to fight Ceromus in Antlion Cave. I,
I
for
don't know. I
one, would
feel
be
like
here to
that'd be,
see it, and I hope that's in ZZ5.
yeah, that'd be really fun.
Right?
Yeah,
Random Z, like
yeah.
not the flag, but the actual
But you
thing.
beat him and you win the game. Yes.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
down. Speaking of random Z, Martin, because we can't just throw Zeromus anywhere, and it's kind of boring to just fight the same boss over and over again.
Uh huh.
What do those actual flags mean? Like, what's going to happen here?
Something involving a butt, a hat, and a Z sprite. The last I heard, we were somewhere in the neighborhood of 560. It's a big number. I know possums have problem with numbers, so we'll just
Yep.
call it sushi for like a month amount of numbers. So it's that much. So, but there's one more important question, Possum. What's the
Yep.
question?
Whose butt are we going to kick this afternoon?
It's not afternoon, Possum.
It's 6:46 p.m. for me. That is technically after the time of noon, Martin Broadcloak. And it is Thomas.
No, yay. I understand time stands still when you're consuming sushi, but it still does move on.
Nines coming out from that. Ooh, we're gonna silk web here.
Fast.
That is not slow.
What battle speed did we come in on?
Was that a bluff? Ooh, this is interesting.
That was a silk web. Okay, so he lives. That is a bluff. Huh.
Interesting.
I'm intrigued.
We're going hybrid on Xenocats. So we got 10K in.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I love dueling Z-Fights. It's like dueling eggs.
Martin, remember that whole thing we joked about? The T word?
Yeah, trains?
Different T word.
Oh, but I was look, Possum. I know, as you know, a lot of paper cuts. So many paper cuts.
Death by paper cuts.
I can still feel them. I'm good with not another one today.
You know the worst thing? Paper cut right under your fingernails.
Oh, those are...
Which is the same thing that Thomas is trying to do to our runners right now.
That's not nice.
I know, right? So we have on Xenocat's side hybrid strats happening, no skip of the second Big Bang. So this is going to be full powered. Yup.
Uh-oh.
That was in fact full powered. Xenocat takes a wipe. Yep, that's not ideal. The adamant armor is now going on to Porum. And yeah, we're going to drop to battle speed 3 while Wewbear is going nukes and white. Now, there's a Cure 4, I believe, queued up on this Palom who took a 1900 damage counter nuke, but should be fine here. But this is where that difference of style, where I don't think we're going to see hybrid from Wewbear. I think this is pure reflect with a couple of manual edge hits in there. This is kind of where I thought both runners were going to be, so I'm a little surprised to see the hybrid from Xenocat, but if they didn't think they had the damage output from pure reflect, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, very much so.
Hella is gone, but that is really not of any importance on Wewbear's side. This is simply going to be a matter of, is there enough damage to skip the second Big Bang here? I can tell you, as someone who had to deal with this earlier, when you don't skip the second Big Bang, things get a little bit squirrely with these two-person reflect strats.
But yeah, you're trying to pump out DPS here. At the same time, you really would love not to die in case that
Yeah.
second Big Bang fires.
Yeah,
So,
not dying is good.
yeah, yeah. Especially not dying to, Z is uh-oh.
I don't know if this white fires.
Yeah.
This nuke for sure does. We're going to cure up Palom, which I like here. I don't think this white fires, and I think we're one nuke shy. So I think there's a little bit more to be done here yet. There's going to be a black hole that fires as well. Oh, the white does get off just in time. I think this might do it. It's either this or the next nuke.
Does the white fade? The white fade. Uh-oh, here we go. Does Palom live?
I would guess so. This is an 8 roll. Okay.
It's not due to lack of effort on Z's part. Z
Sure
tried.
isn't. That was a biggin. My heavens.
Oh, we're still not. Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, well, this is interesting.
Okay.
'Cause now we're fully in danger zone.
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, the good news is we're not getting womboed here because there's no Meteo in this strike.
Oh, this is the direct nuke. So this is win or die.
Okay.
One of two things happens here,
Hey,
friends.
if you don't die, you win. Woo!
This is either going to be a kill shot or a reset. It's a kill shot.
Yes, it is.
Woo!
Wow.
Wewbear making it through in an official time of 1:37.49. Yep. No.
That happened.
No easy fights here, folks.
No.
Holy moly. Yeah, we'll see if we can get Wewbear in for an interview and see what his plans are for next week. But I believe with that dinging in our ears, we are joined by Wewbear. GG's to you, Wewbear.
I go by Cinder now.
Oh, hi, Cinder.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, so how's Wyvern?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I thought I was still on Battle Speed 3 from the moon. Turns out I wasn't on Battle Speed 3 from the moon. I knew it was there. I had it written down, and like at that point there was only 2 things I think left or whatever. And I just thought I was on Battle Speed 3. I was like, okay, Battle Speed 3, quick nuke, done. Turns out it wasn't. So that's fun.
Yeah, you kind of turned things back about an hour and a half. You're running around with a Tela and a Porum. On a scale of I hate this to I really hate this, where were you and how happy were you to see that edge, and how did that change your plans?
That's basically it. I tried to loot a little bit, and I was pretty happy when I found the Elven Bow, I think in Damsian. So I was like, all right, I should be able to handle whatever's in Hobbs and Antlion at that point, and I was just really hoping for a good character on Hobbs, and turns out there's an Edge, which is an okay character, I guess.
And one other thing, you decided that you were going to do effectively 25 sirens over multiple trips and
Yep.
stealing a couple and going to the hook. You had started to steal initially, and then you reset after failing one, and you flew up to the hook. Was that a point of realization, like, if these are at the hook route and I spend 15 minutes stealing and grinding, this is really bad? Like, what was...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I mean, worst case, like, I'm also kind of looking for Bacchus Wines, but, like, you know, as a consolary prize, I guess. And yeah, if the sirens were up there, that would have saved me a ton of time. So I'm like, it's worth the check. It can't hurt. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of money, so I kind of really piecemealed that together a little bit awkwardly, but it's fine. We got there.
I mean, Possum covered pretty much the questions I had. Going back to the 25, you know, obviously you probably looked at your key items at that point and was like, all right, well, there aren't
Lucky
many
items.
spots left. Like, can I get to 10? Should I do this? I mean, what was that the plan once you saw it's like, all right, well, it's got to be behind the merch, so pull the trigger, or what was the... Because neither of you spied the sparkle when you went down there. So neither of you knew what was sitting there until, well,
No,
the
I saw it.
second time around. Oh, did you? Okay.
Yep. I had it written down. I went down there when I first went down the Fame March. I took a peek. I exited out.
Okay.
But yeah, that was pretty much... I mean, I had 5 key items at that point. It was literally just those 2 checks left, so I'm like, I'm not going to worry about 10 key items grinding And I was thinking about just like getting enough to do like Ashura and then like winging. Hopefully, it's an easy Sparkle. But then I'm like, why? May as well just get Nuke and not have to worry about it as much. Even though I still wiped to Oga once, but I just had to swap the party around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the round of 16.
Thank you. It was a nerve-wracking one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would suggest watching it back. There was some there were some things.
I will definitely watch this one back, if nothing else, for the Possum Martin Did you see my names, by the way?
We did.
We did.
We thank you.
Yes,
No
very
problem.
much so.
So, Wewbear, do you know who you're facing in the round of 16?
I think it's Cyrac, right?
It is.
No, I was gonna say we were asking.
Oh,
You
yeah, I
were
think it's
saving
Cyrac.
us there, Woo.
Question mark?
That was the idea.
So, yeah, you are facing Zyrac, so we wish you and Zyrac the best of luck in your series. Any preparations, any special considerations you're making to go against Zyrac?
No. I mean, I would like to. I mean, I guess I didn't 28 this one, but it's only because Zot had like 18 key items behind it, apparently. But no, yeah, I'll play my game, and yeah, I don't really scout or do any of that fancy stuff.
Fair enough. Well, we will let you enjoy the rest of your night. Do you have anything else you would like to add? Or Martin, do you have anything you would like to ask before we let Wewbear go enjoy his victory?
It's Easter Sunday, and you have shown us more eggs than we all thought we would ever see. So no, go enjoy the rest of your night, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you again. Yes, thank you to everyone pushing buttons and restreaming and the talking amongst yourselves for other people's benefits. And yeah, I love you all.
Okay, take care, Woo.
Yeah.
GG's, Woo.
Thank you. Good night.
And that was Wewbear, our first place finisher this evening, 137.49. We are also now joined by Xenocat, our runner-up, but not because of a lack of trying. Holy heck, Xenocat, GG's to you as well. What a series. I know this wasn't the result you wanted, but GG's to you, and what a heck of a finish to that Z fight.
Yeah, don't you love it when you finish with 324 HP on Porum right before a Big Bang? That's how I love to finish it.
Yeah,
no one else alive. 300 hit points on Porum. Big Bang was the next thing that would have happened. It's fine.
Nothing wrong with a little high drama in a Z fight, right? I mean, we all do it. Of course,
Yeah.
It's great. Builds character, I hear.
So go ahead, Martin.
I was gonna say I only have one question, and it has to do exactly with that moon. And the bold yet amazing and infinitely incredible play of doing K value first. What was the reasoning or the idea behind it when you went up there?
I wanted to try to get towards 10 key items, which was a long shot with 7, but I was like, you know what? Grinding on eggs is going to take forever. The eggs are going to be slow. Let's try to get some extra key items from Cape Bahamut. If it's something super required, I'll chase it. Otherwise, I'll probably head to the Mura altar and clear that, and then chase whatever I get from these two spots. And then Tower Key showed up, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to chase this, because I need to do this at some point.
Yeah, we saw that, and we were wondering where you were going to go with it, and then seeing the pink tail come out of it. And at that point, Wu was at the bottom of the moon, so we knew what was kind of waiting down there. And it's like, wait, Xeno's gonna have an adamant armor for all these fights at the bottom. Like, ooh.
Yeah, that felt like, I think, short of getting the Baron key off of that Tower Key, the pink tail was the next best thing I could have possibly gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did want to ask, Dwarf Castle pops out an Edward and a spoon. Was there ever any consideration?
Briefly, but Spoonward is really squishy, and I kind of liked my party.
All right, and a slight follow-up, I guess offshoot follow-up question to that. That Fey March, which you handled extraordinarily well, at relatively low levels. Did you have kind of a plan going into that as to how you were going to handle it? Or was that kind of, that Lit 3 experience that you have really, paying off in spades there? What was kind of, everything you were doing in that Fey March?
I was like, well, I have Image. I made sure my grind before Fey March took Edge exactly to Image, because that means I essentially have 3 Blink Casters. And it's really hard to kill a party with 3 Blink Casters.
That's true.
So I was like, well, as long as I can get 3 Blink Casters, then I have Bacchus Vines for Edge, so I don't have to waste a White Mage turn on zerking him up, and he can probably carry me through anything. I knew I had Quake on the Kid for Baigen to mitigate the arms a bit, and yeah. Porum getting Cure 3 was really nice as well, just to make sure that Porum could actually heal.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the last, the Zeronis attempts, the first one, you went in with Adamant on Edge, and it looked like you were going for hybrid. And the second one looked like it was more just pure pure Reflect. What was kind of driving your decisions to attempt the Z fight in various ways there?
I wanted to do a hybrid strat because I thought it might be a little bit faster and a little less sketchy. Except then I remembered that Porum had no magic defense. I found very little mage gear this seed, so she was wearing like a bandana and a black belt key, which are not great on the magic defense front.
Yeah, not the best. So we thought for a little bit, or at least I did, that you might have been going duo Zerk with Porum, the way that she was getting geared out. But yeah,
no, it's just I had no mage gear, and I was like, well, she needs some defense, so I'll give her some stuff, but she's not going to be Zerking.
Makes sense. Well, this is, unfortunately the end of your run in the Adamant Cup, but a heck of a run it was. Getting through that Crystal Ring group, which was very difficult, running into a tough opponent here in Wewbear. What are your plans for the off season other than the incredible harp streams that you do in the Lit 3 streams? Anything else that you have planned that we should keep an eye out for?
Oh goodness, I'm trying to think. I haven't thought that far ahead.
We'll put you on the spot.
Definitely.
No worries.
No, it's fine. Definitely not like in the imminent future, but probably after the tournament as a whole wraps, I'm looking to get back to Xenogear speedrunning because I haven't had the chance to run that in a few months.
Excellent.
And then, yeah, I don't know. Thinking maybe I'll play Chrono Trigger finally. I hear that's a good game.
I hear it's pretty alright. Yeah. Can confirm.
There's even a randomizer for it.
That sounds a little bit challenging for me. I'd like to play vanilla first, thank you.
Vanilla. Anyway, Xenocat, thank you so much for putting on a show as always. Fantastic job. You did, amazing work on this seed. You've done amazing work for the community. We are all happy and blessed to have you around. So thank you for all that you do on the Twin Harp and otherwise. And you have yourself a great evening, okay, Xeno?
Yep. Thank you for putting on this show. I can't wait to watch it back, honestly. I may have been very selfish when I was picking out the teams for tonight.
We thank you for it, because I can't think of a better place to be right now than doing comms for that race. So, yeah, thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Xenocat.
Yep. Thank you. Good night.
Possum, I'm exhausted.
Me too. I'm approaching a food coma, but that's okay.
I'm amazed you did.
Yeah, that was a great race.
Over there, Possum.
Absolutely great race. Super execution from both runners for the majority of it. That Fey March was a whale of a time.
Yeah.
Make sure you give Wewbear and Xenocat a follow. If today didn't prove to you that they are worth your time to watch, I don't know what will. S-Grunt doing the rolling of the seed and the restreaming. Scythe Marshall doing all the pushing of the buttons. Martin, doing
Hey.
a wonderful job as always on commentary. Thank you to everyone for all of your hard work and your hard running today.
Hey, Possum.
Yeah.
We're not done.
Oh,
There's more.
there's always more this time of year. It's the
Yes,
best
there
time
is.
of the year. It's like Christmas or Easter or every
Look,
good day.
Look, if there was more sushi put in front of you right now, would you complain?
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't be talking. I'd be eating.
That's also true. So yeah, we have more free enterprise for you folks. We're going over the flagship because, oh, by the way, you thought we were done with race 3s? Nah, there's another one.
Yeah, there is one more race of this round of 32 to be run, and it is between Plumeria Knight and Loof. It'll be firing off in about 9 minutes, I believe, or may have already fired up. I'm bad at math. I think it starts soon. But we are heading over there. Remember, please, no spoilers. It's a bad time to spoil, especially a race like this. But please make sure to enjoy yourselves. Thank you to everyone for hanging out tonight. Thank you, Martin, for keeping me in line. And y'all have a good one.
Yeah. And hey, when you all go over that one question I asked real quick, have we seen Wyvern? It's an important question. Good night, everyone.